Video 4 for Chapter 5 is setting up and solving proportions. This is going to be more of our basic, easier kind of proportions to work out. So in this section, we're going to set up and solve proportions using scale factors, or what I call easy arrows. Okay, and this is basically mental math facts. We're going to use our mental math facts to solve the proportions. And the easy arrows always go towards the missing number. So they might go left, they might go right, they might go up, they might go down. Key is they go towards the missing number. So in number 1, I'm going to look for a math fact that I know between these numbers. And the math fact that pops out at me is that I know 18 divided by 3 would give me 6. And notice how I have my arrows going towards this missing number. Okay, I'm trying to find what would go here to make this proportion true. Well, if the arrow down here is divided by 3, 18 divided by 3 is 6, then I'm going to do the matching arrow up here, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So now 5, 6 is equivalent to 15 over 18. I've figured out that missing number. Let's try another one. Look for a math fact you know, and draw your arrows towards the missing number. So if I'm trying to find this missing number, I realize that 24 would be divided by 8 to give me 3. Well, if this arrow is divided by 8, then this arrow has to match. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So that's the missing number there. Now, my arrows can also go this way. Okay, I could draw an arrow up and down to find this missing number, because now maybe I notice that my math fact here is 12 divided by 6 gives me 2, so 6 divided by 6 would give me 1. Right, and now my matching arrows are both divide by 6, but they happen to go up and down. Okay, if you saw this one first, divide by 2, that also works. Sometimes there's more than one easy arrow you can find. Sometimes there's only one. Sometimes there isn't any easy arrow and we use a different strategy. So I'm going to do one more here. I notice that there's an easy arrow here. I'm drawing my arrows towards the missing number. I know that 20 divided by 4 would give me 5. So 16 divided by 4 gives me 4. And I found that missing number. Okay? So this is the strategy we use when you have a mental math fact that you already know to help you find that missing number. I want you to try number 3 and number 6. Look for easy arrows. Okay? Draw your arrows towards the missing number. So if I'm going this way, use that same arrow on top to find the missing number. Use this same arrow on top to find this missing number. Pause and do those quick. Okay, so this is times 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. Here you could have used this arrow, which is times 4. So times 4 gives you 1 times 4 is 4. Or I just wanted to also point out, this could also work. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So either way, I get that number. Okay, they would both give you the same answer. If you see multiple easy arrows, it doesn't matter which one you use. All right, so now let's check out a story problem. It says the ratio of mammals to reptiles in the zoo is 8 to 5. If there are 72 mammals, how many reptiles are there? All right, well, I'm going to take the ratio I know. They told me mammals to reptiles is 8 to 5. So I'm going to start with that. 8 to 5 is my first ratio, and they need labels. Mammals to reptiles. Okay, so I set up the ratio where I know both numbers that go together. This is what they gave me in the problem. Start with that and make sure it's labeled. Then they say there are 72 mammals. How many reptiles are there? Well, I need to make sure my labels line up. So mammals and mammals are going to be on the top. 72 mammals. I don't know X reptiles. And this ratio has to stay equivalent, right? This has to make a proportion that The 8:5 ratio is still true, but I need to find this missing number. Okay, so I'm looking for a math fact. Well, I know that 8 times 9 is 72, so 5 times 9 would give me that missing number, and I get 45. Okay? So it helps if you label everything and you're double checking to make sure your labels are lined up. Mammals, mammals, reptiles, reptiles. Nothing got crisscrossed. Okay, I set it up, label it, and then look for easy arrows. Next one. Ratio of cats to dogs in the shelter is 4:7. Okay, cats to dogs, 4:7. 4:7 is cats and dogs. Always start with that first, and then read it again and see what other number they give me. If there are 35 dogs, how many cats are there? So they're giving me dogs, I have to line it up with dogs. So if this is 35 dogs, I'm looking for, right here, how many cats. And if you even want to just kind of leave that blank, or you could put an X in here, that's what we're trying to find. So any easy arrow that would help you get there. I don't have an easy arrow to go this way, right? There's no math fact to go between 4 and 7, but there is a math fact, right? With mental math, I know 7 times 5 is 35. So 4 times 5 is 20. Okay? And you can put it right in there, and it's already labeled. Cats, cats, dogs, dogs. Okay, there's 4 more practice problems here. I'm going to do one more and then let you practice the last 3. So it costs $42 for 7 pizzas. That is my first ratio where they're giving me both numbers. I know it is $42 for 7 pizzas. Always fill in that first ratio first where you know both numbers and label them. Okay, then if I keep reading, how much will 9 pizzas cost? Well, I need to decide where to line up that 9. Does it go on the top with money or on the bottom with pizzas? Well, it's 9 pizzas, so I have it that way. And now I'm looking to see if there's an easy arrow that jumps out at me. No easy arrow between 7 and 9, but there is an easy arrow from 7 to 42. So I could draw this easy arrow, right? Mental math tells me 7 times 6 is 42. So 9 times 6 is $54. Okay. There are 3 more here. I want you to set them up, right? So if you know it's 400 miles on 20 gallons, set that up as your first ratio here. And then see if you can fill in the rest and get an easy arrow. You know it's $90 for 6 hours of work, set that up as your first ratio here. And then line this up and look for an easy arrow. 10 miles in 50 minutes wouldn't be your first ratio. And then line this up and look for an easy arrow. So pause here and actually do those last 3. Set up your proportion, look for an easy arrow, and find the missing number to make it work out. Okay, so all I've done so far is take the ratio where they gave me both numbers and stacked them up with labels. Then I'm going to read and see, okay, 8 gallons, well, that would line up on the bottom. And I'm looking for how many miles here on top. Easy arrow is, let's see, I'm going up this way. 20 times 20 is 400. So 8 times 20 is 160 miles. Okay, this one, $90 in 6 hours is stacked up and labeled. 12 hours would go on the bottom here. I notice that this is 6 times 2, so 90 times 2 is $180. 10 miles in 50 minutes, how long would it take me to go 25 miles? And here's my X down here for minutes. Okay. I notice this is, what, times 5? 10 times 5 gives me 50, so 25 times 5 would give me 125 minutes. So as you go through problems like this, actually draw in the arrows. You want to make sure your arrows are going the same way. They're always going towards the missing number. And tell me what the arrows actually are. Whatever arrow I do here, right, if this got multiplied by 5, then this also has to get multiplied by 5, and we can use that to find that missing number. Okay? So that's Chapter 5, Video 4.